we will get to the Lib Dems and their candidates for London in just a moment or two, but I want to reflect the GDP number. Don't get too excited. It's 0.2%, and that's the quarter April to June. But it is significant, and then it beat forecasts of zero growth. Indeed, from the month of June, I think we saw a 0.5 metric around as well. So GDP has increased, albeit by these modest levels, for 3 quarters in a row. Jonathan Davis is an economist. He's also a wealth advisor. Am I right to caution against too much excitement on these stats, Jonathan?
You certainly are, Martin. It's so close to zero, it could be a rounding error. Globally, the world is in recession. China, just this week, the second largest economy on the planet, published that their exports are down 14% year on year, 20% down to the US, 24% down to the US, 20% down to the EU. This is not just recessionary, this is depressionary. Look, the issue is not what the bean counters have decided that the economy is. The issue is we've gone from 0% borrowing rate to 5.25% in 14 or 15 months. Now that is going to hit this economy hard in the second half of the year into the first half of next year.
Okay, is there anything that we can do? Well, I say we. I suppose that's two sides of the coin, actually. Is there anything the government can do to change the course, the trajectory we're on? Is there anything we can do as citizens and business people?
Well, I'd like to cover the latter. First of all, we have to act according to, we're going into a sizeable recession. You've got to cut your cloth accordingly. Look, one other thing I ought to mention is these numbers don't take into account recent announcements of big job losses, like, for example, the bankruptcy or the gone into liquidation of Wilco, which is thousands of jobs. And that kind of thing is going to happen again and again. So we have to cut our cloth. Property prices are going to fall. Commercial property prices are down 25 to 50% already. So, don't splash out. Preserve your capital, preserve your wealth, and do what you can to get through this recessionary period. It will come to an end at some point, probably in the second half of next year, maybe 2025. But you have to get through by cutting your cloth accordingly. To suggest, even infer mildly, that we can get through this without pain, well, that's just nonsense. We're not going to get out of it without pain. What the government will do to
sorry, Jonathan, just to jump in on that, the Chancellor said in a tweet this morning that they're on the right course. We're doing better than many other countries, including Germany and France, as European comparators, and that if we get inflation down, everything's going to be hunky-dory. I mean, he didn't actually say that, but that was he is implying. What do you reckon to those sentiments?
Yeah, I reckon he's a politician talking his own book. Our economy, according to the bean counters, is not yet even where it was in 2019. So, you can make relative comparisons to other countries. It's not relevant. It's immaterial. Inflation has been falling. The annual rate of price increases has been falling. And yes, they will continue to fall. It doesn't mean that prices will fall. It doesn't mean that the costs of doing business or the costs of living will fall. It simply means that the rate of increase will fall. And that is certainly true. But these interest rates, these mortgage rates, these commercial borrowing rates, I can pretty well tell you it's unlikely that they will fall until the earliest next year. So we've got another 6 months at least of the current rates of interest. And even when they do fall, they're still going to be materially higher than they have been for the 10 or 15 years up until the beginning of last year. So we're going to experience economic decline, in other words, a recession.
Jonathan Davis, you tell it as it is, we appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed for your candour. Economist and wealth advisor, Mr. Davis, joining us there on LBC News. And 10:35 is the time right now.